finishing. Twist down. These are kimarite, the winning techniques of sumo. Some kimarite are familiar, such as uwate nage, but there are many lesser-known ones. In fact, there are 82 in all.
Kimarite is part of sumo culture. We think of them as our treasure.
The 82 kimarite enhance the value of sumo.
Simply put, kimarite is the winning move. This program looks at the hidden secrets behind these techniques.
Hello, I'm Hiro Morita. One of the amazing things about Japan's national sport of sumo is how fast it is. Perhaps that is not surprising, considering you've got two rikishi, both weighing over 100 kilograms, facing each other in a very tiny ring, just 4.5 meters across. Sometimes the bout lasts only 8 seconds. But in that brief period, the rikishi give it everything they have, mentally and physically. Now for the untrained eye, many things go unseen in sumo. So today, we're going to explore the mysterious winning techniques of this ancient fighting game. Called kimarite, they are executed in the blink of an eye. It is these throws, twists, and charges that decide the outcome of sumo. In sumo, there are a total of 82 winning techniques or kimarite, and of these, 13 are throwing techniques. 18 are leg hooking techniques, and 19 involve twisting maneuvers. There are also 6 ways to beat the opponent by bending over backwards. And also 7 basic techniques that allows you to push the opponent forward and take him out of the ring. Finally, there are 19 special techniques called, the kimarite called special techniques. Unless foul play is called, the winner of every bout in sumo is decided by one of these 82 kimarite or winning techniques. I have a special guest today in our studio, and who is going to help me talk about this fascinating aspect of the sport. Joining us is His Excellency Demon Kagure. His Excellency is not just a great fan of sumo, he's quite an expert in his own right.
I'll take you to the exciting world of kimarite today.
Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yes, Excellency. It's really nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. His Excellency Demon Kagure is a musician with a great knowledge of Japanese traditional culture. He's also active as a sumo commentator. As a matter of fact, you're my guest commentator for the May tournament.
It was quite fun.
We had a great time. Okay, well, Your Excellency, what is your favorite winning technique kimarite?
Yeah, there are so many, but the biggest attraction of sumo for me is to see 2 giant rikishi battling each other hard. I've been living for centuries, and the technique that I remember most vividly in my long life has been the uwate nage, or overarm throwing, by Kitano Fuji, and that was so impressive.
Kitano Fuji. All right. Now, with that recommendation from His Excellency, let's start by looking at the uwate nage overarm throw, demonstrated by none other than Kitano Fuji. Kitano Fuji's good looks made him a favorite with the female fans, but so did his magnificent techniques. His offense was speedy, and he never missed a chance to topple his opponent with a powerful uwate nage overarm throw. This is 18-year-old Taka Hanada. With a beautiful uwate nage, his opponent Akebono is sent down to the clay despite having a weight advantage of over 60 kilograms. Uwate nage is the most frequently used of all the throwing kimarite. Shitate nage or underarm throw is another common maneuver. Here it is being executed by Wajima, a popular yokozuna of the 1970s. When Wajima got an underarm grip on the mawashi, he was unstoppable. Our sensei today who will reveal the secrets of Kimarite is Stable Master Oyama. He is a walking encyclopedia of sumo. Stable Master Oyama was a professional rikishi in the late 70s and early 80s, fighting under the name Daihi. He focused very hard on techniques, moves that would put his opponents on the dirt or out of the ring. We had the king of Kimarite teach us how to make a winning throw.
When you grip the mawashi from the outside, it is called wate or overarm grip. And this is shitate or underarm grip. This is watenage or overarm throw. When you make an watenage, you throw the opponent to the other side.
One of the secrets of a successful watenage is to pull the opponent into your side when making the throw. The other secret is, in order to make a good watenage throw, you gotta twist, pivot, and throw him down with authority. Sumo has many other kinds of throws. This is wate dashinage, pulling overarm throw. You take an outside grip and pull the opponent forward and down. When you can't get a grip on the mawashi, try a kote nage or arm lock throw. You wrap your arm around the opponent's inside gripping arm, lock up the elbow, and throw the opponent. Ozeki Kaio's kote nage is so powerful that sometimes the opponent gets injured. Here's another throw that doesn't require a grip on the mawashi. It's called sukuinage or beltless arm throw. You pull the opponent forward while raising your other arm to unbalance him. I got him. When Yokozuna Musashi Maru used sukuinage with his big right arm, even Yokozuna Takano Hana, with his outstanding record of 22 tournament victories, was no match for him. Your Excellency, how did you like those examples? Especially that Musashi Maru's sukuinage beltless arm throw. That was a tremendous throw, wasn't it?
Yeah, that is exactly what you would expect from a Yokozuna Grand Champion. But I'm sure we're going to see more brilliant throwing techniques. Ones that will really fire up a demon.
I have to respect your observation, Your Excellency, and you're not easily impressed. So I have been doing some personal research on Kimarite.
Okay.
Now, I've dug up some very special bouts and some rare Kimarite, so see what you think of it. Watch the rikishi with the maroon mawashi. He pulls the arm with both hands and heaves his opponent over his shoulder. This is ippon zeroi or one-armed shoulder throw. It's a dynamic winning technique similar to judo. Keep your eye on the rikishi with the red mawashi. In this bout, he wins using a koshi nage or hip throw. He's at the edge of the ring. He looks certain to lose. Suddenly, he pulls his opponent onto his hips and slings him down. What a tremendous throw! Here is a rare technique. The rikishi grabs the head of his opponent with both hands and twists him down. This Kimarite is called tokkuri nage. Well, the name of the waza comes from this, tokkuri, Japanese sake bottle. It looks like pouring sake, hence the name tokkuri nage. It has only been used once in a tournament and never in the top Makunouchi division. The next one is kubi nage or headlock throw, a favorite weapon of Takano Sato, who overcame many hardships to become Yokozuna. His opponent Kitanomi looked set to win this one, but Takano Sato puts his arm around Kitanomi's neck and executes a flawless kubi nage to win the bout. Kubi nage is often used as a last resort. A never-say-die rikishi will pull this one out of the bag when all looks lost.
Boy, I thought I had him, but he came away with the desperation headlock throw. Oh, not only I lost, but he almost took my head off.
The way you were thrown was magnificent.
Well, thank you, Your Excellency. I always make sure that I learn with my body.
Oh, yeah, good.
Well, by the way, Your Excellency, I have heard that you have a deep knowledge on the history of sumo as well.
I've been waiting for you to raise that point. The history of throwing techniques goes back a long way. They were already well established by the medieval era, when the official number of kimarite stood at 48. They included twisting techniques, hooking techniques, back-arch techniques, just like you see in combat wrestling.
But what about yoriki frontal force out or oshidashi frontal push out? They are the dominant winning techniques or kimarite these days. Not so in the past?
No. And that reminds me, there was an important innovation in the old days. I remember it well. It determined the forms of kimarite that we know today. This is it.
It's the dohyo ring.
Yeah.
Well, now let's find out why the dohyo is so important in the history of sumo.
According to the Nihon Shoki, ancient text written in the 8th century, sumo is more than 2,000 years old. At first, sumo matches were performed to pray for a good harvest. Later, they were used to train samurai warriors. In the Edo period, sumo bouts were staged to raise money for building shrines and temples. It was about 300 years ago that the sumo ring made its first appearance. At that time, sumo rings were not always circular. There were square-shaped mounds too.
If the ring is square-shaped, when the rikishi is pushed back into the corner, like in a boxing match, it becomes impossible for him to move and fight back. But if the ring is circular, the rikishi can move around and escape. I think the circular ring eventually becomes a formal ring because it is very exciting to see a small rikishi cleverly escape the charge of a big rikishi. Because of the ring, many techniques were developed to send the opponent out of the ring, which pleased the audience. This led to sumo becoming a form of entertainment that people would pay money to watch.
Since the dohyo was introduced, rikishi began to concentrate on moving forward to force the opponent out of the ring. Taiho's 45-bout winning streak was ended by Toda. Onokuni stopped the winning run of Chiyonofuji at 53. Many of sumo's historic bouts have been won by rikishi charging forward. Moving forward is the golden rule of sumo. One rikishi who observes the rule faithfully is 22-year-old Kiseno Sato. Whoever he meets, Kiseno Sato never hesitates to drive forward. So far this year, he has already beaten Yokozuna Asa Shoryu 2 times.
My ideal style is making a strong charge, keeping the momentum, forcing out the opponent straight away. I always aim to do this.
Kiseno Sato was taught this traditional sumo style by stable master Naruto, former Yokozuna Takano Sato. He always stresses the basics like the angle of the initial charge and keeping the arms tightly against the sides. He says that if the rikishi go through the basics carefully, they can apply them to various techniques.
Techniques evolve naturally if you move forward. So I always tell him to move forward.
I firmly believe that I can get stronger if I follow his advice. I do my very best to remember what he told me and to put it into practice during training. I believe it is the best way to become stronger.
If you're aggressive and go forward, the techniques follow naturally. I can see how Naruto Oyakata is instructing his rikishi to build up their physique and how to move the body to enable that.
It shows how deep sumo is. Certainly, it is important to be aggressive and go forward. But these days, more than half of the bouts are won by very simple techniques like yorikiri force out or oshidashi push out. We don't see as many other techniques as we used to. A part of me yearns to see a greater variety of kimarite in a big tournament showdowns.
As you say, Your Excellency, many bouts are won by a powerful and speedy oshidashi frontal push-out. But 7 years ago, the Japan Sumo Association increased the number of kimarite to 82. I assume you know the reason for that.
Of course. It is because of the increasing number of foreign rikishi.
Sumo has been internationalized. A third of the rikishi in the Makunouchi top division now come from abroad, hailing from many different backgrounds. The charge of American football, the outstanding holds of wrestling, the powerfulness of sirum, Korean wrestling, all have influenced techniques in sumo. But it is the grapplers from Mongolia more than anyone else who have left their mark on the Japanese tradition. They arrived like a whirlwind in the late 90s. Moves such as reaching for the opponent's leg or getting behind the other rikishi to lift him out of the ring could not be explained by conventional kimarite. In response, the sumo elders pored over their ancient records, looking for new techniques to add to the official kimarite list. In 2001, 12 new techniques were added. They included kozumatori, ankle pick, and tsutaezori, underarm forward body drop, performed by ducking under the opponent's armpit. The official number of kimarite now stands at 82.
Très bien. The influx of foreign rikishi, especially the Mongolians, has brought back the forgotten kimarite.
Absolutely. Remembering all the 82 kimarite is difficult. But when we watch sumo bouts, kimarite is always announced within seconds upon completion of each bout. Do you know how kimarite is decided?
You know what? I do. You're talking about the little mysterious room where you cannot step inside easily.
Well then, let us show our viewers the behind the scenes of kimarite decision making. The Nagoya tournament in July was 2 weeks of non-stop sumo action with spectators treated to some fiery bouts. Every day, almost 200 matches were staged from the lowest Jonokuchi division to the highest Makunouchi division. You know, I've always wondered how sumo bouts kimarite are decided. Well, inside this door will finally solve that mystery. The person responsible for deciding the kimarite is none other than stable master Oyama. He scrutinizes an instant replay of the bouts on the TV monitor. He cannot miss even a split second. The instant the referee or gyoji declares the winner, the ring announcer makes a call to stable master Oyama. Kimarite is declared within 10 seconds of the bout ending. The decision has to be made before the rikishi for the next bout go up on the dohyo. This bout was a tough call for stable master Oyama.
ここからどっちと崩れてしまった右からの突き落とし。ちょっと待ってよ。
He checks the replay very carefully for confirmation.
It is a makiotoshi twist down because he was twisting the opponent towards himself with his left arm.
He's aware of his heavy responsibility in making a kimarite decision.
I do feel nervous because the kimarite that I decide appears on TV immediately. But I feel glad when a rare kimarite is used. It is on those occasions I feel so lucky to be responsible for judging the kimarite.
Well, we looked at some of the many aspects of kimarite, what types of techniques there are, and how they have changed over the years. And we've also gone backstage at a grand sumo tournament, as we saw, to see how they are decided. Now, quite a few rikishi over the years had a reputation for using unusual tactics to win their bout. And Your Excellency, who impressed you most in this regard?
Yeah. One of the most impressive rikishi for me was Tochi Nishiki.
Wow.
Come on. Yes. This is Tochi Nishiki, who was active in the 1960s. He had an unforgettable nimaigiri ankle kicking twist down. Also, Waka no Hana. I'm talking about the first Yokozuna Waka no Hana. He was legendary for his use of yobimodoshi. Difficult. The pulling body slam technique.
Oh, yeah. They all bring back some fond memories.
Yeah. The average weight of sumo rikishi today in the highest Makunouchi division exceeds 150 kilograms. They're at least 35 kilograms heavier than 50 years ago. And that is why we really see the more spectacular kimarite performed these days.
See, well, Your Excellency, there is someone we shouldn't forget. Mainomi. Who retired?
How are you doing?
Who retired 9 years ago.
Yeah.
As you well know, he was nicknamed the Kimarite Department Store.
Yeah.
Sumo fans love to see how he would use his small physique to beat much bigger opponents.
Yeah.
We asked Mainomi for his thoughts on winning techniques. Mainomi used 33 kinds of kimarite in his fighting days. He would regularly pull off clever moves at the initial charge, surprising both the opponent and the audience.
The worst scenario for a small rikishi is having to face a strong head-on charge. If it happens, he will be overpowered and pushed out instantly. This is the most dangerous thing. To absorb the bigger rikishi's thrusting, he can pull back his shoulder quickly and weaken the power of the attack. You have to be innovative and respond flexibly in order to cope with a bigger foe.
Mainomi says leg techniques were an effective way for a pint-sized rikishi like him to take on big opponents. This kimarite is called Mitokoro Zeme, triple attack force out, which targets the chest and both legs. Mainomi is the only rikishi to have used this technique in the past 20 years. In this bout, he beat Akebono, an opponent more than 100 kilograms heavier. He says this uchigake inside leg trip was a carefully planned strategy and was executed perfectly.
The height of the initial charge, the angle of the squat, the opponent's move. His offensive move was just as I had predicted. I was so satisfied because everything happened so perfectly, just as I had planned it.
Mainomi thrilled the fans with his array of different techniques. He says rikishi today are relying too much on sheer power, and they should practice more kimarite.
Unused kimarite will be forgotten. In 50 years or 100 years from now, people might not believe that such techniques can be executed. They might think that they were just legends. It is not too late to do something about it.
Well, what my Naomi is saying is that if the proud heritage of a national sport of sumo is to continue, the rikishi need to study and practice more of the kimari. Yeah. So, Your Excellency, what have you concluded from our study of sumo's winning techniques?
Wait a minute. You seem to have forgotten something. There are 82 kimarite, but some have never been used in the Grand Sumo tournaments. Not even Naomi could pull them off.
You always astound me with your expertise. All right, let me show you some of these tricky techniques directly handed down by Oyama Oyakata. Okay, one of them is okurigake, or rear leg trip.
Let's try.
Let's show you.
You'll be a winner.
Okay, I'll hit the throw, dashinage, goes right behind you, and trip you up from behind with hooking one of my leg to your leg. This is okurigake.
Oh, push.
Yes. Okurigake.
Yes.
Okay.
And how about this showstopper? Shumokuzori.
Wow.
Bell hammer backward body drop.
I've never seen.
Let's show it.
Okay, you'll be a winner.
Duck under. And I will lift you up and take you down by slamming you backward. Wow. Tremendous throw.
Very rare.
This is another kimarite that has never been seen or performed in the top Maguno division for at least in the past half century.
It is amusing to speculate who will be the first one to win a top bout using one of these techniques. I think Ama, coming from Mongolia, might have a chance. He is incredibly nimble.
Okay. Well, foreign rikishi continue to join the sport, and no doubt more of them will be fighting at the top level in the future. As their number go up, the winning strategies may also continue to evolve.
This makes it even more important for all the rikishi to study the full range of kimarite. If that is done, I'm confident the tradition of sumo will still be going strong 100 years from now.
And that's all in our look into the world of kimarite. Many thanks to our guest, His Excellency Demon Kogure. Thank you very much for coming.
Welcome. You're most welcome.
Well, I hope this program has given you some things to look out for the next time you watch a sumo fight. Yes, the replay can now reveal a hidden world. We hope you make use of it. Thanks for watching.
It's always thrilling to see a spectacular kimarite after hard-fought battle. I hope we continue to witness many exciting kimarite.
右の上手、もろ差し豊ノ島、下手